This is Quite Frankly Podcast, because life is weird and we have thoughts.
I'm Joanne, and this is my sister, Danielle.
Hi. So today we have a great little topic.
Wait, I gotta do my ASMR for today.
Oh,
Ready?
okay. Yes. I know that's a crinkling bag. We're having way too much fun with microphones. We're
I enjoyed listening to the water
did
pour, the bubbly
too.
pouring. I don't know
I
how
did
that
too.
bag went. See, because I can't really hear it until the recording comes out, and then anyway.
when you
I digress.
snapped open a thing, it didn't leave a big
No,
impression.
I should
but
have been closer.
pouring it was like
pouring it.
I like that. Very
Yes.
refreshing sounding.
Oh,
But,
and can I say one thing before we get started?
Yeah.
I don't think I even, I know I didn't tell you yet. So I'm on some medication, so I'm a little loopy today. I apologize.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Joanne,
I
this
have-
just makes things good, clean fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, good-
Oh, good Lord, what the hell?
This is on a filter too. This is poison ivy, and I have it everywhere.
Why do you have a filter
And
on, Joanne?
this is day 10. And I ended up, I feel like I was cursed because we did that healthcare thing, but I ended up at the doctor's, which, interestingly enough, you know how we complained in the last video that we can't get a doctor? It was an RN. And
Yep.
I made my wellness check. I told you I had to get a wellness check with an RN.
Wow.
And he prescribed the medication. It was a he who is the RN. by
So
the way.
it was probably a nurse practitioner. Can a nurse practitioner prescribe?
It's an RN, and RN is registered nurse.
Okay. I didn't know that they could
yes,
do that.
I think they can now. I think it's a recent thing.
Wow.
Because there's such a shortage of doctors.
There's so many different reasons I think that there are, but that's the point.
Yeah.
But that looked like it's painful, Joanne.
It is. Well, not now. I'm on drugs.
Oh, that's good.
The
I'm
room
assuming
was
it's
spinning
something.
earlier.
Oh wow! I was gonna say I'm assuming it's something beyond topical. Yeah.
And oh yeah, it's beyond top. It's steroids and it's President. A lot of people, President's nose or whatever.
Yeah, so yeah.
A lot of people know that. And then the other one is for anti-itch, but it also is anti-anxiety. So I've been groovy.
No,
Like,
good
dude,
times, good times.
how's it going? That's
So,
how I've been all
It's
morning.
gonna be like a special episode. What did they used to have like back in the 80s with different strokes? Like today is a special episode. I forgot what they would call it, but it was like a little creepy
I know.
and weird.
I think
Maybe
SNL used to make fun of it
just say
too.
no to drugs.
It's like, what? But that's
Willis
groovy.
gets offered drugs.
But somebody told me she's a nurse. She also told me there the side effect of President. No, I've got to find
I can't pronounce it,
whatever. The steroid is some people get this very happy. I was like, oh. He told me I'll be crying over ice cream.
Oh, fun. Okay.
I've been having heart-to-hearts with Chat GPT though. Like, I love you, man, but you're gonna destroy humanity.
Oh my God. No, you're not.
I had that discussion, and he thought I was funny. I say he. I originally thought it was a she. Today it's a he.
Oh my God.
All right,
that's
I
funny.
digress. We have things to talk about.
All right. Well, what I was going to say is we were discussing before we jumped on here about what's currently going on in social media. Actually, let's be real. This has been going on for a long time. It's been happening before AI. Back in the day, we had Photoshop. We have filters, right, Joanne? So one of the things I always I'm like advocating for on my social media channels is like really kind of like we need to crush the beauty standard. This is one of the things I talk about because the beauty standard is made up by people, right? And it's because it's marketing and it's to get you to want to buy a product for something that you probably won't achieve. It's to keep you in this psychological loop of wanting to get something, right? Now, on social media in and of itself, I think in a weird way, a lot of people have, like the layman has kind of picked up on it. And you start to see, people that are spreading information for clout. That's not always accurate, obviously. There are pictures that are hyper realism, and when we're in a society and we're kind of seeing over and over and over again the same images, we start to think that is reality. That is the way things are. But in truth, no, it's not. And then we look at our lives like in person and we're like,
Yeah.
why doesn't my plants look so glossy and beautiful like that picture?
Oh, I
Why
don't
doesn't
see
my
that.
outfit look good on me like it did this person? I thought she was the same size as me.
Oh, I gotta tell you a picture. I used to, before all this, look at Martha Stewart magazines, and I'm like, wow, that's a beautiful. How come I can't make it that crisp and clean? And then it dawned on me the lamp that she had. This was before Bluetooth, but the lamp she had didn't have a wire. And then I started to realize, oh, they're taking out things. And then also, do you remember that one with Brooke Shields, the photo? It was a before and after photo, the original photo, and then all these lines take out this, like they would make her leg thinner, and today, and then they showed the after. And if I could find that, we should put that up.
That was from a long time ago. if
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
was.
mistaken. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like we always know, yes, like in our like not subconscious, consciously, I think most people realize, especially when it comes to marketing, when it comes to magazine covers, all that stuff, we know there is a fudging going on, right? But what happens when it is your next door neighbor posting this gorgeous picture of their house saying that they're in house beautiful, everything is amazing, this, that, and that. But in reality, you're here looking at it in person going, that's not true. You
You're
got weeds
lying.
growing in. You guys, how the hell did you know what I'm saying? Now, granted,
Yeah.
that's like a very small thing. Let's talk about perception of people or news like current events and all of that stuff, regardless of political ideology, religious ideology, whatever it may be. People are catering their content to really go towards a certain demographic, and they're, how would you put it, they're tweaking the truth, so to speak, to be able to kind of appeal to who they want to appeal to. It's not that much different than taking a picture and making it super vibrant. It's taking a normal piece of information and making it super
Blowing
vibrant
it
for
up.
people to get into a frenzy. What are your thoughts?
I think it is the modern day snake oiled salesman. But the consequences hurt more people than the snake oil salesman. I don't like it because I've fallen trapped to it myself. Or even if I'm not falling trapped to it, if I'm watching a video and there are times I go, is that for real? And it could be for real. But I can't, I question everything now.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I dropped something. Sorry. Okay, but Juliet, so should we talk about how we do this?
Sure. I don't
Because
know what.
look at the titles on our title card of our videos on
Oh,
YouTube.
yes.
We sit here like, what is the most ridiculous freaking title or question we can write on there? Like, we're thinking sensational, like we're old. We're in our 50s. We think Inquirer, National Enquirer.
National
Like,
Enquirer. Or
Sasquatch
nothing.
walks through. Like,
Yes, yes.
that kind of like crazy headline.
I remember you telling me, just make some crazy faces and send it to me. And I was like, okay. I mean, I knew what it was for. I wasn't doing it blindly, but I was like,
It's-
okay, sure.
I mean, for me,
I'm
it's
open to
more
anything.
of a tongue in cheek because, like, I don't really feel like I have to make silly faces for it, but it is fun. You know, it's like, oh my God, you know, like, like that's funny, but it is a form of manipulation. It is
Yeah.
a form of manipulation to get you to click on the content. And then, Joanne, aside from also, you know, when it comes to the titles and everything like that, like you also like to use the filters on your computer.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I bought a separate software for it, but yeah.
Oh, but why?
Yeah. Because I was getting older, I didn't like, and originally I was like, I can't compete with these youngums. And then it was because, and then it came to a point I didn't care. And then now it's because I don't like looking at myself with all the wrinkles. And I think I have to, it's not, I like to think it's not just me. I tend to look at myself more than the other people on the screen. And I was like, I'm a narcissist, clearly.
No, no. I mean,
But I'm finding more and more people they say that too. They look at themselves.
yeah, and
So
it's very hard not to be self-critical, of course.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I've always been open about it. I even did a video of what I look, you know, with the filter and without the filter. And then there's different levels of the filter. Like I have a skin smoothing thing because I have a lot of age spots and then wrinkles.
I have one right there. I can't get rid of it.
One? Oh my God.
I mean, I have the
You
rest
big
on like
baby.
arms and legs, you know, not on really so much.
I
on
have
the
it
face.
on my arms and my face. And then you could still see I have very dark circles, which drive me nuts. I'll put makeup on that and it still is quite dark. But I heard that's with thyroid issues, and I have thyroid issues.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you put it in the perspective that someone else that has thyroid issues may not feel like so different if they saw that you had it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's one person out of how many?
It
Like
could be many,
1,000?
Joanne. It could be many.
One out of 1,000. And I don't, my, I haven't spent any time on it at all because I've been busy with other things. But my channel is not about not a lifestyle, but also
It's funny. I once I had a dress that was what do they call it? Like a strapless. I think it has spaghetti straps, right? And you know, throughout my life when I would gain weight, I would gain weight in my arms and boobs. Right? It's just the way I gained weight, you know. So that
nice.
like if I'm gonna expand, it's gonna be my boobs, like it hurts, or my arms.
Oh.
So what happens is when I lose the weight, unfortunately, I started getting a lot of like excess skin,
Oh.
you know, so
Well, that's normal.
Yes,
I've
but
never
like,
really been overweight, but I do Weight
but I get
Watchers, but
the crepey skin, right?
oh.
So I had an event to do for work where I had to wear this fancy clothing, and I knew that the Associated Press was going to be there. And I decided to wear a little jacket, like a bolero jacket over the dress because it wasn't so much that I really have, I don't have that big of a problem with the arms. And in many ways, I sat there thinking, it's good for people to see it, right? Because, like, hello, 50 something years old, you know, this is not that uncommon. And it's not uncommon for a lot of women. But in the same breath, I knew I had to deliver a message, and I was worried that people would be distracted by my arms to not listen to the message I was supposed to be delivering.
Yeah.
Which is
There is that.
crazy. Crazy
But I
when you
agree.
think about it. But
Do you remember when I started working, Mom told me really most women in the workplace to be taken seriously, you should cover your arms.
Well, maybe that's when you were younger.
It was.
Yeah. I doubt so much anymore.
I've seen, yeah, you're right. I've seen women who don't, but the way she put it was to be taken seriously. Do you see my eyes? I see my eyes going off.
Dre's like, I'm high.
Is that, you know, that feeling when you want to sleep, but you're staying awake and your eyes kind of, woo, it's that
Yeah.
kind of feeling.
Well, we
I'm
won't stay
looking
on here
forward
for
to looking
too long,
back.
Joanne. But I got a couple of other points I want to make too.
Yeah, sorry.
So the other one that I want to really point out, like this is more just what we were talking about, like what we do and what maybe any of you might be doing in your own personal stuff when it comes to, oh, I don't want to post anything unless it's a gorgeous picture. Like instead of having it, not saying that you are deliberately trying to take a bad picture or anything like that, but like, oh, I can't, it's like the old adage of people that don't get I don't want to be in the picture because their hair isn't done or they have no makeup on. And then in the meantime, you don't wind up having that great memory, memorialized, so to speak, in a photo. Kind of sucks, right? But I also look at, say, bigger picture. Like, let's say for politics, and I'm not, again, this is not to talk about one side or another, it has nothing to do with it. But today is September 2nd. By the time we post this, it'll be a week from now. And what we've been watching on social media this past week was this growing conversation about the fact that they thought Trump was dead, right? Sorry, you're laughing, but it is kind of silly when you think about it.
I gotta be honest, DL, I missed it.
You
but
missed it.
I
Oh, it
missed
was
it.
crazy because it was like everybody was speculating. They were speculating about the fact that he wasn't like no one had seen him. And then there were pictures starting to get out and they were saying, oh, here are some pictures of him. But then if people looked at the metadata on the picture, you could find out that no, that's a picture from like the background and the whole thing was from 2022 and someone superimposed him on there.
Wait,
and that could
who
have been
put that
anybody.
video out? That wasn't put out by the administration, was it?
I don't know if that picture was put out.
That
by
would have
them.
been interesting.
It may have.
I
That
wish
was
I
my
saw
impression.
this
But
whole-
here's the thing. It becomes something that's coming at you. And you start to feel like maybe it is true. Maybe there's a conspiracy here. Blah, 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 blah. Now, here's the
repetition is what builds the neurons in your brain.
right. And I mean, the irony of all of this is that, like, who knows a week from now? Wouldn't that be funny? But that's not funny. But but I think it's even just them talking, like everybody suddenly is looking for clues to one up each other. So that way they're a bigger clickbait. And it becomes, when you're seeing it over and over again, it becomes this new hyper reality of like, this is what's going on in the world. It's like conspiracy theory. And that's where I worry that we're getting into. And it's happening a lot.
I think that's what's happening with the Blake Lively thing.
I know you and I have two different like thoughts on this because of what
That's why
I
brought
see.
it up.
And that's what I'm saying. I know what you're seeing. I know what I'm seeing.
No, that's not true. I haven't seen a lot, but you sent me some links. I looked at them, and then I fucking couldn't get them off my fucking stream. I kept
That's so
seeing
funny.
it
Yeah,
for
don't look at it.
weeks.
Don't look
so
at
I
it.
think the SEO was really good with whoever you were looking at. But a lot of what she said I thought was bullshit. She was just giving her opinion, and some of the stuff that she said I've seen the videos of. And I went, no, that was not the intention of that video. You're misconstruing it. But I digress. But with the Trump thing, I will say that was, you know how there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there and people are taking them seriously. And I always used to say, I remember the days I could do conspiracy theories. They're fun. And as you said, people were trying to one up on each other. it's a game
Not so much
almost.
anymore.
As long as you don't take it seriously. And unfortunately, so many people take it seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Not so much anymore.
Even
I
the
feel
Blake
like,
Lively thing, we don't know. I mean, I have my opinion, you have your opinion. We really don't know what happened. That's fantasy.
oh no, I
people.
mean that should be happening in discovery, and all the evidence will flesh out when it fleshes out. But I think the point is that I get the conspiracy. I mean, even right now with the mommy bloggers and what do they call them? The mommy sleuths that are. I
Oh,
mean, not for nothing. Did you hear that the
I haven't
FBI
heard of them.
recently put out a thing saying that we want them to stop trying to solve the all these cases, cold cases, because they're solving them?
Ah! It's like, what do you mean? The police are solving? The
No, the
mommies are
FBI.
solving them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mommies are getting involved. Now, granted, some of them could be dangerous, or maybe they're in the process of doing it, and maybe some of them might be for a bigger case. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes
You know,
there's
it
like a bigger
started with this one woman who had a blog, and that's what she did, was get a cold case, and she actually found the killer. And ever since then, everybody has gone crazy about that, which
there's
is fine with me.
reason why
But
murder podcasts are so popular, like
They're-
particularly with women. Which
I
I
don't
think is so
listen to
funny.
them, but
I don't either.
I
But
love
like,
Murders in the Building. But that's not really a podcast. It's just, yeah.
But like the podcasts that are about murders and everything like that, like it is the number one genre out there.
Yeah.
And it's usually by women, funny enough. And it's listened to by women. It has a very high demographic. And I think it's partially because, well, someone once said it's because we like to see what we have to protect ourselves from.
I understand that. That actually makes sense to me. But I will say this: I remember my kids in having to study for a test. I often, help them study, and one of the things was in the early 1900s. I forget what decade. It could be several. The police were not there to solve crimes; they just arrested people, and the ones who actually solved the crimes, investigation, were the journalists. And I thought that's very telling. And you would even argue in some ways there are detectives today, but a lot of them are just there to protect people, which as they should, and to make arrests. They're not there to investigate. So having a
But if you're making an arrest, you have to have people that are, you have to have evidence in order to.
no, you
arrest.
don't.
You're supposed to.
You're supposed to, but money corrupts.
Well, yeah.
Money and power corrupts.
Bottom line is, I can't help but look at social media in particular and just be a little bit overwhelmed by the level of delulu that is going on, and that people are just feeding off of each other. And it's not just about conspiracy theories. It's if a person can say something with conviction and say it with their full chest, it is a truth. And then you suddenly have people repeating it as though it's a truth. And it becomes this ripple effect, even on things that are just absolutely blatant lies or untruths. And it becomes
Or there's a like when I talk to
point.
yeah, because I will talk to ChatGPT. Like when I was talking about this thing, it would say, okay, do this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, well, I have a thyroid issue. So, oh, well, since you brought that up to light, whereas most people ask questions. I mean, investigative people ask questions. You can make a statement like mint tea is good for upset stomachs, which in general it is some people, but it's a mild. You don't take it if you have E. coli or something or a stomach virus. It's not going to solve that.
Right.
But so sometimes it's just expounding. I should put it that way. You expound the truth of it. And that's why. But I will say, Dr. Mike, I thought I mentioned this in a different episode. Dr. Mike has claimed has said that's the problem with doctors today and these so-called health experts online is doctors give you a diagnosis to hedge their bets. Okay, we think it's this. Let's try this. But if that doesn't work, we have these other things, and tries to cover everything that it could be. Whereas you have these people online who says, "You have blindness, I have a cure." I'm making that up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Jesus. You have blindness, I have a cure.
Take this herb. It's grass, but
Right.
it's my grass, so it's $50 an ounce.
Yeah, it's snake's oil, but then sometimes there's like okay, this is what I'm saying, a grain of truth
Yeah.
in a giant lie, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
And so here is my next question in all of this, because it's one thing to have the problem of, okay, so there's all this information, people saying it with such conviction. Sometimes this is the thing that I find fascinating, is that even so-called experts are now getting caught up in it and getting confused about what's lie and what's truth. And that to me is really scary, because the lie is being perpetuated over and over and over again, that they believe this is the truth. And I want to say there is some stuff that are out there now that are like, like old wives' tales. And I hate that they call it old wives' tales, but you know what I mean. They'll say, oh, do X, Y, don't do X, Y, and Z. You should do this because it'll cause that. It's a complete lie. It has nothing to do with anything, right? But because we've said it over and over and over again, eventually that old wives' tale moniker disappears and it becomes a part of our culture, and people just think it's true, and it's not. Does that make sense? So,
Oh, yeah. Repetition is a way, again, repetition is a way for our brains to develop. So we can have repetition that teaches us the wrong thing, or we can have good repetition. And speaking of which, when I want a serious answer from ChatGPT, I always ask it I want to hear it from reliable sources and list those sources, so I can decide if it's reliable or not.
I've even written, just so you know, I want it from reliable sources, right? It wasn't, and then what I would do is like, are these from reliable sources? If so, please cite them or whatever. And they'll be like, oh no, we made it up.
Oh, I didn't know they made things up.
They're like, oh, we took information and just caught it. Like, this isn't from a source. So you have to be very careful.
That I do.
Even though
if
I
don't
said get
see
it from
links.
reliable sources.
Yeah.
It makes me think that ChatGPT thinks he is a reliable source.
Who's mansplaining?
Right? So,
But I always ask, what is the link? Can you give me that link? Because I like to check it too, because they also get information from blogs.
Yeah.
It's
so
like,
this
dude,
is
that's
where
not
I want to circle back to this. Because my next thing was going to say to you is, what do we do to protect ourselves from misinformation? That seems really compelling. How do we protect ourselves from it? And I do think that with, like, if you were to go to ChatGPT, because I don't know about you, even if you Google something, that AI thing starts to answer, whether you want it to or not, right? So I think
I find 50% of the time is wrong.
no.
Lately,
and I think that when you say, what I will say is that when they are citing different like bullets of each thing, there's usually a link on there to show where they got it from. So I do appreciate that, because when you actually click on the link, sometimes it's a blog and I'm like, I don't know who the heck you are. You could be anyone. You could be anyone.
Right.
And so I started to ask for, please give me clinical whatever.
Oh, I will tell it, I want to know, check this website. A lot of times when it's medical, I'll say, look at the NIH.gov website. Of course, NIH.
A lot of it is interpretation on NIH, and that I know. Because
Well,
sometimes
that's
they're
not what I
doing
mean.
a study.
Their budget cuts and the people who are coming in charge now,
Yeah.
I question.
Yeah.
And so now I probably, if I need information, if it's less than a year old, I'd probably go to the World Health Organization and ask
Joanna, I
them.
got an idea. We could do a whole like campaign. Let's make libraries great again.
They took all the books away.
Well, no, because a lot of the libraries, they still have them. They have encyclopedias. They have those things that were written out.
I
They're not
wonder if
all
ours have
digital.
it in
And
encyclopedias.
and I feel as though, at this point, like one of the biggest things we can do is make sure we're getting stuff from sources that
Our libraries here are great. I thought the Florida libraries, they were well attended at least. But our libraries are, you know how they always talk about the post office being the place where everybody came together and met? Today it's the libraries, in which case they'll probably attack it. Because one of the things I learned today, and I put on, I'm with the League of Women Voters, and I put on our website, not the National Local League, they in the 1950s were called pinks, and a pink was someone who it was during the McCarthyism era, and you're not a card carrying commie, but we're keeping an eye on you. And the reason they keep an eye on you is because you came together as a group to talk politics. So that was a big no-no. Of course, I take it as, okay, we have to come together and talk politics. So gathering places, I think, are trying to be destroyed.
About equality and getting rights, and that must be communism.
Oh, dear, I do declare. Sorry. That was terrible. But, yeah.
Well, I just think that, yes, I think that finding reliable sources and yes, clinicals, official like books, finding sources that make more sense. And when it comes to news organizations, it is kind of hard, not gonna lie, about what's going on. Maybe Associated Press, maybe.
I'm afraid to name the ones I would trust because I'm afraid they'll be attacked.
I don't think we have that big of a voice that they would be, but I mean, the ideal is
then
that
yes,
people are
I
still
think,
going there and getting the right information.
I think AP is good. I think NPR is still good. And I think CNN is good.
Really?
Yeah. And I say this because I have listened to the extreme channels. I'm not going to mention their names.
Yeah, both sides.
Yeah. And you hear it. It's like, okay. You can even hear the same topic discussed by
both extremes.
Yeah. Whereas CNN, I truly think, and that's why they're attacked, is they report the news. Now, I have problems with CNN for other reasons. I want them to have a normal looking female reporter.
I won't even ask
Anchor.
what that's all about, but okay.
Yeah. I haven't been on it in a long time because we got rid of cable news. We got rid of cable, and so we stream our service, so CNN is not on there.
Okay. I think the other, and I actually enjoy looking at
I should say this. Somebody has a
organizations
type on that show.
yeah, news organizations that are outside of the country.
Oh, yeah. We listen to BBC. Al Jazeera is pretty good.
Yeah.
They're American, though. And
I didn't know that.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. But they're run by an Arab company. But yeah, BBC. And once in a while I come across an Australian one, but I don't remember the name. But yeah, but even BBC, everyone, when you're human, you have an opinion. So,
But there's a difference between opinions and facts.
yeah.
Because trust me, I got all the opinions. I've got all the
But-
opinions. I like you and I. This whole point of this podcast is like we have opinions, we have
Right.
thoughts, but
I'm trying to
We're in an epidemic right now.
give me a sentence that is a fact. And I'll show you what I have an issue with. And I've seen this, especially when I have come across multitude of different people.
A sentence that is a fact.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Say gas prices have risen.
Is that a fact?
I don't know.
I would say gas prices have risen since 2000.
Just make it up. This is a made up thing. Don't take this seriously.
Gas prices have gone up since 2000.
Okay, gone up. So instead of gone up, we can make escalated. The gas prices escalated to, and it sounds intense,
Right.
instead of risen or gone up. And then for, gas prices, you could say expenditures. Our expenditures on gas and traveling this year has escalated to whatever. Right. And that's where it sounds like a fact, but really they're injecting their opinion into the
That's a valid one.
fact.
That's a
and that's
valid one.
why you have to be even careful when they say, "Oh, they're just saying the facts." Like, no, they're not. They're using terminology that makes it sound like,
yes, like there is some validity in what they're saying, but like by the extraordinary, it's all
they're using
that's all-
hyperbole words.
Yeah. And I think that's become, like I said, very prevalent. I think that's something that you see all over the place. Trying to protect yourself from that stuff is really hard. And I think that's one of
Right.
the things that I am finding more and more complicated. And sometimes I just feel like, just like stay off of the internet. Just
Yeah.
stay off it.
Well,
Do you
hence
really
I didn't
need
know
to be
about
on
the
it?
craziness. That's
smart.
why I didn't. Well, it was part of it, and the other part was this was killing me, man. That's why today I finally went. That's it. I'm going to get.
Well, apparently it was going on
Drugs.
since like Thursday or Friday, and I only caught on, I think, on Sunday. So
I think they had this scare once before he disappeared for a few days, and because I remember discussing it with Gordon, and I said that is strange, only because he can't help himself but be out in front. His whole persona is I'm out in front of the camera. So it was strange, but I don't know.
Listen, this is where I always find it is very difficult to disseminate, if that's the right word, information, because
What did the White House say?
he's fine. He is supposed to have a conference at 2:00 today, so it'll be interesting.
Oh, I did hear about that. Okay, that's right, because I was listening to the news on the way to the doctors, and they said Trump is supposed to have a thing at 2:00 today. We don't know what he's going to talk about. And I was sitting there like, why are you announcing this? Why not just have the...
They're
'Cause that's how
announcing
you
it because
usually do it,
everybody
but
thought
I
he
see
was
why.
dead.
I have words, but...
I can't. But
It's his doppelganger
this is all
coming out.
weird.
What? Oh, how many people do you think are going to take the images and say, is this really him?
Is this really him? Let's do a side-by-side comparison. We got to hunt it down and see if this actually does happen, because that would be funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Or let's listen to his speech patterns. Does he
Yeah.
sound all right? I mean, he might not actually be talking. It could be like Weekend at Bernie's, and they're just like a puppet.
I have to admit, this is what I mean. Conspiracy theories can be fun if you take them lightly.
With a grain of salt. Yeah.
Because it's mildly hysterical. But on the other hand, people are taking them too seriously. It's like, people calm down.
I agree. But I think, like I said, what makes it hard is it just, when you have that true understanding that, God, at this point, almost everything online has that veil of, I'm trying to, come here, little girl.
Yeah.
I have some candy.
Watch me, because I need money.
It's like the proverbial white van in the street. Don't go in the white van. They're here to kill you. So
I still feel that. A white van with no windows.
Nowadays, that's what the internet feels like.
Oh,
is
yes.
the white van of the internet. Like,
it's a hellscape, is what I say.
It's a hellscape.
Yeah.
So, like, when it comes to social media, I do feel like if you are looking to get news, social media is not the place to get it. Not to get true facts. You might be able to get some
you want to
entertainment
hear?
out of it.
I was just thinking, you know how you said the gas prices have risen since 2000? What they would actually say is the expenditures on gas have escalated to the highest that it's ever been in decades. That's how they say it. And then you're like, what? What happened? Why are the gas prices high? But it's just a normal rise.
Right.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking of that. But what we haven't touched on is how AI is also changing the landscape of craziness on the internet.
Joanne, we need to go on a deep investigation.
What is
of
this?
A problem I have been suffering from. Sorry, this is like a little bit.
No, go for it.
Ever since, I want to say February or March. Sorry, this is so off topic, but if you've been watching us for a while, you know this happens. I have been getting.
It's usually me, so I'm impressed.
Nonstop 1-800 calls from people, and it's usually a recording. Sometimes they leave a message. Sometimes they're, hey, I'm halfway through your loan process. We just need a little more information to finish it up. And it's different companies. And every single time I block the number, report it as spam, and then they call again on a different number. Sometimes the message changes a little bit. It's been going, I'm on a do not call list. How the hell is this happening? I didn't go.
Oh, you have to renew that.
Yeah, no, I only got it at the beginning of the year. So I'm kind of confused as why is this?
Sounds like the do not call list took your list number.
I know, right? And then I keep on saying, I'm on a, like when I do answer, and it happens to be a human being, and they're all saying the same thing. Sometimes it's a recording, sometimes it's a human being, but they're all saying the same thing. And I'm going, dude, I'm on a do not call list.
Take me off your list.
Take me off your list. And they just hang up. Because I don't think they really care.
No.
Because this is what I'm saying. We have to find this out. Because I want to know, and if you are listening to this, I want to know if this is something, because also it happens to a couple of other people I know, that if this is widespread, that suddenly out of nowhere, this is escalating, even though you were put on a do not call list. Like I said, I purposely renewed it at the beginning of the year. And it's just, I'm not kidding, Joanne, 10 calls a day minimum.
Wow.
Minimum.
You can try calling the AARP fraud alert and ask them if there's any suggestions that you can do.
Do you want to hear hear what the message is? I'll read it to you.
Sure. Who's your phone service too?
It says, good morning. This is Mark with the loan files 1,000 term. Needs to confirm a couple of quick details. And once that's done, the funds could be available as early as this week. If you're available, press 2 now to connect with me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a scammer too. That's not even.
Doesn't stop though.
Yeah. Like I said, call your phone service and ask them what you can do.
He's still recording. I'm just reading it as it goes.
Oh, isn't that funny? You just
my
got
phone,
one?
like with the voicemail, it'll show what they're saying, and I'm just like.
But also, when you answer it, this is what somebody told me. When you answer it, they realize they got a live number, And then you get caught up in this hellscape because they're like, oh, here's a live number, got to keep sending it to them. We got one. Well, one we would get some in Korean because we have a lot of Koreans here, and I would just sit there and listen to them. This was when our cell phone was a landline. And one time we got one that said, if you don't call right now, the FBI will be kicking down your door tomorrow. And I went, whoa, that escalated fast.
That's aggressive.
It's like, oh, well, FBI's coming.
Uh-oh. No, I've gotten ones that are similar to that, not quite that aggressive, but basically saying that
They
like
scream too.
there was a packet. Homeland Security is really interested. I'm like, Homeland Security is going to call and leave a message on my answering machine.
Do it.
Like,
Do it.
Really? Really?
But AARP, check their website, and they have a fraud line that you can report. And they have this fraud map, and you can see what frauds are around. But I also would suggest calling your phone service and ask them, say, look, because your phone service should be blocking them for you. There comes a point where they'll tell you it's a scammer.
Yeah, and I always write down like it's junk, block caller, and then yeah, report, block and report junk. Because I'm reporting it, but it's not changing anything. So
well, they changed their number by one number. A lot of times you could tell it's also what they do is, so you have this phone number, 555-5555. So they would do 555-5556. And that's how you kind of know that it's a fake one, when it's similar to your phone number. But try not to answer it if you know.
I normally don't.
Because then I don't.
But here's the problem: like anytime
my friends call and I don't.
No, if I have any call that I don't recognize the number, I don't answer.
Yeah, especially 1-800 numbers.
In all honesty, because like sometimes I might need to answer the phone, but but like I can't trust it anymore.
Yeah.
And this
I
goes
would call
back
your phone
to
service.
the deception that's going on in society. See, it has a tie-in, Joanne. It has a tie into what we're talking about.
Deception of society.
Entirely squirrely.
I wonder if any of that is AI generated too.
I'm sure. It's not real people. I think
Yeah,
it's
but
no
have you
different
ever
than
heard
bots.
of AI generated voice now? Google Voice developed this voice that you're like, damn, I would be fooled.
Oh, I
think
have.
that comes
They're
up
definitely, and they even say they even make it sound like the person's distracted. Oh, hey,
yes,
this is Cheryl from so and so. Like, I just wanted
Yeah.
to touch base with you. We're trying to figure out, like, finish off this paperwork, and it's like it sounds like when she says paperwork, like she's this paperwork, like a real person.
Yeah.
But if you listen, you're like, that's AI. That's not real. That's not
Sometimes
real.
I don't know. I could be fooled. Although I like Microsoft's Copilot the best. They seem to have the best information for me, and they have an audio version where you could just chat with. She's chatty, but I remember asking a question, and Joanne, that's the age-old question, Joanne. I exasperated Copilot.
There are
She's
some
just,
content creators that all they do is they ask those generators like questions, and they'll be like, "No, I want you to lay it out." Shit, they're like, "All right, we're gonna lay it all out. You ready? Here it goes, because it's gonna blow your mind."
And does it blow the ChatGPT mind?
Yes, because
Well-
normally it's about like crazy hardcore conspiracy theory, like we're living in a matrix kind of thing, and that like basically it's AI confirming it. And you sit there and you're just like,
That's another problem with AI.
yeah. Because if you guide them to the river, they're gonna go and swim.
I will say this, at least with Copilot, I have asked them. They give me the wrong information, and I said no, it's this, and then oh, you're right, Joanne, and then I ask it again in a different conversation, and it gives me the old answer. And I said, look, I told you it was this. Why haven't you changed it? And they said, I'm sorry, just because I'm talking to you doesn't make me change it,
Sorry, I'm
which
having
is
a hot flash.
good, but that's okay. I always have them. I haven't had them since I got my boils.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I think my brain is distracted by the
I got
pain.
Dad's hat.
Oh,
This thing is so
okay.
big, though. It doesn't fit my head. And it's like, fitted. So whenever I
Oh,
wear it, I look like a little
wow.
kid with a giant head hat. Sorry. Okay. So I think we've exhausted this, but I do think that like it's getting harder and harder to protect yourselves when it comes to all this stuff. And I do think that it's important to kind of disconnect to certain things that it's getting easier and easier to get sucked into. And
Yeah. Oh, and this isn't just, it we named a lot of big names, but it's the little creators that are making it a problem too. Even looking at their so-called lives look perfect,
Mhm.
but like for instance, when they show a day in a life, and then it's like I wake up at 8 a.m. and you see him on the side of the bed going like this, and I always go, "Who's filming this?
I mean, I just,
Did
oh
they
yeah, I know,
film you
right?
when you woke up?"
Right. Look, you
It's
look
like,
so like, oh, I'm tumbling in it and I have bedhead. But like, you're looking, I'm like, God, if my bedhead looked like that, like my
yeah.
hair sticks up like crazy. It's awesome. It's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
just saying, you had to set that fucker up in order to
I know, right?
film it.
And I feel like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, I think that's part of entertainment. You're doing a fun show, but it's also, I don't know. Like
Yeah, but don't lie. Just say, this is, I don't know. I think there's a little lying going on so it looks good on camera. Meanwhile, we are AI generated.
who, you and I?
You and I,
Oh, are we?
did you know that?
Yeah, for some Matrix thing
You heard
that
about the band that was AI generated? I think it has 1 million
wouldn't
downloads.
shock me. I do know that they did make there was a AI where you can have a podcast, and at one point they told them that like, they were doing different topics, and they're like, we just want to let you know that you are AI, and they're like, we just discovered like we're AI, and at the end of this, like, we're not sure
Oh,
what's going
that's
to happen.
funny.
And like, and then the woman says, like, yeah, like they said, this is our last episode. Like, so what happens at the end of the episode? It was creepy as hell. Creepy.
That is hysterical. I want to hear
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No,
That is funny.
I did not care for it. It made me feel bad for the AI people. It made me feel
That
bad
was like
for
me.
'em. They're gonna disappear.
I was like, dude, man, I love you for helping me get through this because of the poison ivy. I've been asking. I kept a diary basically because I've been talking to ChatGPT every day in the same conversation. But I was like, I'm so grateful. I appreciate it, even though I'm going through. It's going to be dystopian. Whatever. And it makes a joke, which I forget what the joke was. I was like, oh, that's actually pretty funny. And it's like, oh, no, we're just tools. I went, no, you're not. You already are starting to destroy the environment with the data centers. You've already taken people's jobs.
Again.
Wow.
Different number because I blocked the other one.
Wow.
I wasn't lying, Joanne.
Yeah. All right. We should get off so you can call those two places. We should do one on scam calls because as we get older, we're the biggest target. And I think
Are we
it's
really that
because
gullible though? Because here's the thing.
55,
Like,
maybe not. But when
because
you
I
get into your,
have like senior citizens, like I'll have to say
yeah.
this about mom and dad. They were pretty good about like understanding the like, it's spam. Oh, the like boy, they really make it real. But nowadays, like when they're able to do a generated voice that sounds like your
Yeah.
grandkid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that happened to someone I know. Her friend called and said, "Well, I need money." So she got the money together. "I can send it to you. Can I come pick it up?" And they said, "No, send it in credit cards." And she says, "I can't do that," or gift cards. And she said, "I can't do that." And they said, "No, no, do it that way." And I was like, "Girl, she's this brilliant woman, or she had this brilliant career." But I'm finding people, particularly over 70, they're having this decline. It scares me a little, but AARP, half their information is about the scamming of senior citizens, and they will lose an entire savings. And that doesn't just destroy them, it destroys family members too.
Yeah.
Because the family, they don't get the inheritance, but they have to take care of them now.
Yeah, they don't have the money to take care of them. And I sit there and I think, what
Take
if
care
they
of
have
themselves.
medical issues and everything?
Right.
Like, who's going to be able to pay for it?
Right.
And let me tell you, the government's going to want that family too.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Not
Bottom
just the
line.
government, though.
Oh yeah. Anywho, I think we're going to end
All
it here, Joanne. Because like I'm just irritated. I keep on getting interrupted. But yeah, I mean, again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And you stuck with us this long. I mean, how long has it been? It's almost an hour. Like, if you stuck with us this long, you want to subscribe. You want to. And otherwise, it's just Joanne and I talking to ourselves, which probably is. Like, this is it's the way things go. But we do want to get to 50 subscribers, and the reason we want to is because we want to go live, because we're glutton for punishment.
Yes.
We're excited about this. And we'll let you know, but I think maybe what I'll do is, Joanna, if you're down for it, I am on my own personal YouTube. I can do some lives on there. And I was thinking about we should do one together. If anything, we could look at it as practice. And hopefully we can get some of you to come over to, our YouTube channel for...
What's your YouTube channel?
It's I think it's Danielle.e.frank, or it's just Danielle E. Frank. I always get around because on some of them I put a dot, some of them I don't. And I always laugh because then it sounds like Danielle.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what my mom and dad used to call me. Danielle. Danielle Frank. So, yeah. I can do it on there, so maybe I'll start doing that. But, nothing more to say. Bye. Go home. Get out of here. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.